I want to start this show by saying congratulations to Nigel Farage and the Reform Party for today surpassing the Conservatives' last known membership numbers. In what seems like a lifetime ago, when I was out passionately marching against Brexit, I didn't think I'd ever be saying those words. And whilst I may still not be convinced Brexit was the right call, my position is certainly more nuanced than a former sense of moral and intellectual superiority, which makes me wince in shame. Hey, I watched the BBC, I read The Guardian, I was a Labour voter, I was one of the goodies. Of course, what I think I really was lazy. I was passive. How many of us are captured by tribal politics, voting and thinking a certain way because our family did, our friends did, our colleagues did, our media did? It certainly made for an easier life, and I understand the appeal of easy. In a different reality right now, I'd happily be at home watching Married at First Sight. But somewhere along the way, in the madness of the last decade, I was forced out of my complacency. I was forced to start thinking. Perhaps it was the same for many of you out there. And whatever it was that did trigger you, Brexit, gender ideology, anti-Semitism on the left, the culture wars, illegal immigration, COVID lockdown, once you realised your obsequience was taken for granted, once your eyes had been opened on one particular issue, once you noted how information was doled out by politicians and the legacy media, possibly misrepresented or maybe not presented at all, I imagine you wondered what else you might have got wrong. You can't go back to sleep. Woke indeed. And that, I believe, is the silver lining of some of the madness that has shaken our society this last decade. A paradigm shift, a forging of a more engaged citizenship who don't automatically toe the party line of a two-party system, who'll do some research and explore and talk, look for facts, question those facts, question the questioning of those facts. But what then? How do you organise around them? How do you participate in a democracy rather than let democracy be something that just happens to you? If your new mantra is policy, not party, then what do you do when they don't match? In my case, I voted for what I hoped was the best of a bad bunch. It's not exactly inspiring. And that's why I'm congratulating Reform for their milestone.
Welcome back to Just Jake. Today we're going to be diving into the latest chapter of British political drama, a showdown between Reform UK leader Nigel Farage and Conservative leader Kemi, bad at politics, Knock. It's a tale of membership numbers, Twitter wars and potential lawsuits. Nigel Farage, known for his sharp rhetoric and knack for stirring the pot, is threatening legal action against Kemi Badenoch. The dispute, a fake membership ticker displayed on Conservative Party headquarters, suggesting that Reform UK has overtaken the Tories in member numbers. Farage projected this on Boxing Day, no less, a classic Farage stunt designed to grab headlines. The ticker claimed Reform UK had surpassed 131,000 members, a figure tied to the Conservatives' last leadership election. But Badenoch wasn't having it. She took to X, formerly known as Twitter, owned by Farage's friend Elon Musk, accusing Farage and Reform UK of using a fake coded ticker to manipulate their supporters. She doubled down, saying Farage doesn't understand the digital age. Now, Farage is demanding an apology, and he called Badenoch's comments disgraceful, hinting at a libel suit. He's framing this as a personal attack, even describing Badenoch as someone with a bad temper, although she was investigated for bullying at one time, wasn't she? Prone to lashing out. Classic Farage, always the victim, always ready to escalate. But let's cut through the noise. Is this really about membership numbers, or is it a calculated PR move from both sides? Farage thrives on being the political outsider, the underdog taking on the establishment. A public spat with the Conservative leader keeps him in the spotlight and energises his base. For Badenoch, this might be an attempt to draw out a clear line between the Conservatives and Reform UK, a party nipping at their heels for disillusioned Tory voters. But here's where it gets really murky. Reform UK provided Sky News with coding that allegedly proves the ticker isn't fake. It links directly back to their member count on Nation Builder, a platform many political campaigns use. If that's true, Badenoch may have overstepped, but was it worth threatening legal action over? Farage claims he'll decide his next steps within days. But let's not ignore the subtext. Badenoch, or bad at politics, Knock, and Farage are competing for the same ideological turf. Both know that the next election will likely see dissatisfied and disaffected, disenfranchised Conservative voters up for grabs. Farage wants to position himself as the authentic voice of that group, while Badenoch needs to cast himself as a fringe provocateur. But here's the ticker, or the kicker. Whilst this spat might entertain political junkies, it does little to address the real issues. Whilst it's misleading membership claims or legal threats, neither leader is talking about the policies that matter: housing, the economy, or the NHS. Instead, we're stuck in a game of political theatre where the main goal seems to be dominating the news cycle. So what happens next? If Farage follows through with the legal action, this could escalate into a costly, distracting saga for both parties. If not, it will likely fizzle out as another Twitter spat, forgotten in a few weeks' time. But let me know what you think. I've been Jake from Just Jake. As always, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.